Oregon going on the road to Lubbock, Texas, playing Texas Tech. Oregon is favored by 6.5 points in this one. It is 7 Eastern on Fox. Same time as Bama and Texas. It'll still be a game that I think deserves to be talked about and deserves to be watched. So if you got the split screen thing going, I would recommend you do that. This is a treacherous spot for Oregon. They've got their sights set on the mountaintop. Their sights set on being a college football playoff team, but to go on the road and play in a tough place like Lubbock, Texas, against a team like Texas Tech, who's coming off a loss, a heartbreaking loss rather, too. This screams sketchy to me if you're a Duck fan. Now, for Texas Tech, this is a great chance for them to get this thing back on track. So much said about them being a dark horse in the Big 12. I still wholeheartedly believe that they are. You want to, kind of gain back some of the respect people maybe lost for you. Not us, but some people maybe lost from that Wyoming loss. Go handle business against a team that is in the top 25 in the country that just scored over 80 points last week against Portland State. Little subplot here, too. Tyler Shuck, former Oregon quarterback. Now, it was a different staff. I understand that. But you don't think there's maybe just a little bit of a personal element to him in this game? Just based on that logo on the other sideline? I think there is. Question, though, can Texas Tech rattle Bo Nix? Because if you can't, man, he's going to have a very big day at the office. This can't be a situation where Texas Tech just kind of sits back and says, okay, keep it all in front of you. Keep it all in front of you. No big plays, because if you do that, they're going to run for a whole lot of yards. Bo Nix is going to slice and dice, and eventually some big plays will happen. Even if you kept it in front of you, there's going to be enough seams there where they can just puncture and get a touchdown and get a first down. Whatever kind of result you want to plug in there, that could be the situation you live in. So for Texas Tech, got to kind of stick true to form. Tim DeRuyter now, the defensive coordinator for Texas Tech, he's known for kind of being that guy that's going to dial it up. They're trying to be as confusing as possible on that side of the football. They're trying to confuse you. They're trying to bring pressure from different spots. That has to be the most aggressive kind of game plan for them against Oregon. Because like I mentioned, you don't want to sit back and let Bo Nix pick you apart. Now, Oregon's secondary, to talk about their side of things, they have some questions as well. And last year, they were one of the worst in the country. I don't think that game against Portland State gives us a tremendous idea as to what they're going to be this year. Allowed 250 yards a game last year to the Ducks through the air. Not good. And what Zach Kittley is bringing to the table here as the offensive coordinator for Texas Tech is going to be perfectly diagrammed to take advantage of that. Zach Kittley, I believe, is just a head coach waiting to happen here in college football. I think he's probably a head coach in the next couple of years. But in this game, his approach will be spread you out, take advantage of all 53.3 yards of the width of this football field, every blade of grass, you better defend it. Because if you give us a one-on-one matchup and we don't think your safety can get there, we are going to take shots. We are going to throw haymakers because guess what? We're at home. We're a home dog. Nobody thinks we're going to win this football game. That's fine with us. Nothing to lose. We're not gonna leave anything in the chamber. We're emptying the clip, baby. That's the approach in Lubbock. And keep an eye on this too. If Texas Tech, let's say they start the game with 3 and out. They get Oregon 3 and out. They're off the field, punt it away to Texas Tech, and let's say they connect on a quick drive. Let's say it's 4 plays. That roof in Lubbock, the metaphorical roof rather, will be blown off that building. That place will be going insane. You don't think about Lubbock, Texas as the most treacherous place to play, but I'm telling you, when that crowd gets going, this is not a situation you want to be in if you're Dan Lanning and company. So the thing with this, though, as well for Texas Tech, it can't be a thing where you settle for 3 in the red zone. You got to cash in. Last week, they were not great kicking the field, they were not great in the field goal kicking game. They were 2 for 5 against Wyoming. And for Texas Tech, as potent as this offense is for Oregon, that's not a thing where you can kind of just buy your time and eventually maybe climb back into this game late and make up ground. You got to keep pace with Oregon because Oregon, I firmly believe, will score points. Can Texas Tech match them from a gameplay standpoint? I think it's going to be a track meet. My big concern for Texas Tech in this game is their ability to fit the zone run game. They allowed 68 rush yards to Wyoming's quarterback, and a lot of those were the read option. Okay, defensive end crashes. We're gonna pull it. We're gonna get around the edge, and then as a whole, they allowed 171 rush yards total. So they weren't playing that super effectively against Wyoming. This is what Oregon's going to do a lot of with Bo Nix running the show for them. If you can't at least fix a portion of that, if you can't at least be serviceable in the run game, well, then everything opens up for Oregon. They can run the ball at you. They can throw the ball at you. They have everything open to them in this playbook. And then Texas Tech will have a very tough day at the office. Because then it's just a matter of, okay, can Texas Tech match every score? We don't want to match every score for Texas Tech. We need a few stops here if we want to stay in this football game. I don't think a track meet favors Texas Tech in this game. So, like I said, the start is going to be crucial. Get the crowd into it, rattle Bo Nix. That's the path to getting this thing done. I think when I look at what Oregon has offensively and the fact that this one I think has been circled for them for some time, I don't think they're overlooking this game. I think this is a case where Tyler Shuck plays really well. Like I said, kind of personal to him, having been at Oregon previously and now coming to Texas Tech. Like I think there's a personal element for him. But even so, I think Oregon finds a way to get it done in Lubbock. I think it is close. I actually think Texas Tech covers this one. The spread is 6.5. I think the final score is 37-31 Oregon. So Oregon wins, Texas Tech covers. But I'm telling you, that's one that's on the same time as Bama, Texas. Make sure you're watching that on the split screen because I think there's a lot of things to be learned in this game, without question. So can't wait to watch that one. For all y'all that follow me on the social channels, you've probably seen me making some picks because PrizePicks now, they have been phenomenal. They have brought the hard count to y'all today. And to give you a quick breakdown of what PrizePicks is, essentially it's daily fantasy. So the beautiful part about it is you can look at different player projections across a myriad of sports. We do it with college football here and pick more or less on their projection and then make a play pairing it with other player projections. And so the difference is you can do a flex play or you can do a power play. Flex play is you can miss one of three and you can go up to 6 entries. I like to stick right around that 3 area. Bottom line, you don't have to have every projection come to fruition to still make some money. Now in a power play, if you hit all of those, if all of those come to fruition, if all those projections are on the money, then you make more money, which is kind of common sense there. The bottom line, though, fast, easy to use, can put it in with under a minute in terms of making entries with it with PrizePicks. Safe, great withdrawal within PrizePicks as well. And if you use promo code JD, they have a 100% deposit match up to $100. So go ahead and get that done, and we'll have some plays for us here this coming weekend. Quick recap of what happened this last weekend. It's a tough one for your boy. We had a flex play, put it in Saturday morning, felt great about it. We had Joe Milton, more than 2.5 passing touchdowns. We had Dylan Gabriel, more than 2.5 total touchdowns. We had Tanner Mordecai, more than 2.5 total touchdowns. Felt great about all of them. Did a flex play, said, if one doesn't go exactly how we thought, that's fine. Tanner Mordecai, Wisconsin, they take care of business against Buffalo. They're not throwing the ball quite as much as we thought. That's fine. Not worried about that. So 2.5, the more does not happen. All right, no problem. Dylan Gabriel does what he's supposed to do. Does more than 2.5 touchdowns, and we're in business there. So we look back at Joe Milton. Joe Milton has a shot deep to Ramel Keaton. And it is a dime piece, I'm telling y'all. Like, you all watched the game. You saw that thing just leave his hand, wide open downfield, right in the breadbasket. Couldn't connect. I'm not blaming anybody. Blame myself for not getting it done. But Joe Milton finished with 2 touchdowns. So the more there did not happen. Nonetheless, make sure you get that promo code locked in. We ride again this weekend. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram to keep up with the plays there. So thank you to PrizePicks for getting that rolling. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.